Our Curse of Strahd D&D story starts off as the party is heading to the city of Kresk. Previously, we discovered that Strahd is after his reincarnated lover, Tatiana, who keeps dying and being reborn, over and over again, tormenting him. Strahd's currently after the newest incarnation of Tatiana, Ireena, who we're trying to keep out of his hands. We spoke to the fortune teller Madame Eva, who gave us a prophecy about how we are to save this land. She said we'd find someone at an abbey who might be able to help us out. The last church I went to, Strahd murdered everyone inside, so I hope that this abbey won't suffer from the same fate. In the previous session, we discovered that Esmerelda is a vampire hunter, trained under the famed Van Richten. Since we're going to kill Strahd, she joined up with the party. As we're traveling, I ask a question that's been bothering me. Ireena, hey, what's up? I have a question. Something that I really should have asked earlier. Ireena replied, what's up? Strahd's actually bitten you before, right? Yes. She shows the bite marks on her neck. Does that mean you're going to, turn into a vampire? I scoot a little bit away from her. No, said Esmerelda, our resident vampire expert. She doesn't turn from a bite. It's only if someone dies from a bite wound. They're buried, and then the next day, they rise out of the dirt. And that's when they are a vampire. Ah! So someone has to die from a vampire's bite to become a vampire, I say. Exactly. So it's actually pretty difficult to get turned. You first have to go down, be on the ground, bleeding out, take one death fail, and then a vampire has to bite you. It's not like the werewolf's bites where just getting bit once can turn you. So vampirism, while harder to get, is impossible to cure from because you're basically bringing someone back from the dead. I was considering why we didn't just cast Remove Curse on Strahd, but that's not going to work. We followed the road through the gothic, haunting landscape to Kresk. Part way along the journey, two ravens fly nearby and land. Your bird, Gouda, Muriel, pops out from your shoulder. Gouda was confused. Wait, Muriel's been with us the whole time? Who the hell is Muriel? I ask. It's a raven we picked up earlier. Oh, right. I was absent then. I said, so you're telling me this whole time when we were at Strahd's, Valaki, Ku, talking to Victor, that raven's just been sitting there on your shoulder the whole time? The DM informed us, yep, it didn't leave. I've been reminding you guys on occasion. Other ravens land nearby. Because Gouda's a gnome, she can hear what the birds are saying. Muriel looks to them and says, Tower, Kresk, wine. The ravens caw back, Kresk, wine, and take off, leaving. Hold up! Hold the fuck up! Not only have we had a raven on our shoulder the entire time, but the raven has been telling other ravens where we've been going? The DM says, I brought it up multiple times. Hey, you guys have a raven with you. It hasn't left. Gouda clutches the bird to her chest closely. She's fine. She pets the bird. She's so cute. Also, I just realized something. This whole time, we were wondering, how did Strahd keep managing to track us down over and over again? How did he figure out where we were at the tower? How did Rahadin know where we were? Didn't they say at Castle Ravenloft that Strahd can control rats, wolves, the ravens? I think they had said he had domain over all the beasts and birds or some shit like that. Last I checked, a raven was a bird. Why have we had this thing with us the entire time?
Valenta had said she was supposed to get control of the ravens, but didn't.
I realize, yeah, which means that Strahd hadn't given her control yet. Gouda seemed offended. No, she's not working with Strahd. She looked to her bird. Muriel, what did you talk to those birds about? Her raven looks at her and just goes, caw. Oh, now she's not the talkative type, are we? That's even more suspicious. Gouda's like, we're still keeping Muriel. We're getting rid of that fucking bird. You don't know she's bad. Okay, let me just keep this simple for you. Let's say, hypothetically, worst case, we just killed some random bird. Even more worst case, that bird works for Strahd, and we're all murdered in our sleep. I don't want to let her go. It's dangerous out there. Boshack said,
She can fly. She'll be fine.
The bird hopped off her shoulder and held out her wing at an odd angle. Oh no, she's injured. It looks like she can't fly. Okay, that makes me even more suspicious. Gouda snatched up her bird, clutching it close to her chest. Boshack was like,
I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts on that bird. What's in there?
Inside of the bird's head, he hears,
Well, I guess I should have expected that. I always kind of knew it was going to come to this.
The bird looked to Boshack.
Do you mind if I use your cloak?
The bird leapt out of her hands and transformed into a person, wrapping the cloak around them.
Who are you?
The woman in front of us said,
I'm a friend. I'm with Davy and Mardukov.
Gouda remembered.
Oh, him!
I was confused. I'm sorry, who?
You weren't there for that session. There was a winery. It got attacked by twig blights. We saved them.
Muriel said,
Davian could tell you guys were very capable, and you're trying to help us. We want to help you, too.
So the other ravens are on your side? What did you tell them? Muriel responded,
Kresk isn't going to let us in. They're closed to outsiders. If we're going to get in, we're going to have to bribe them. I asked the ravens to talk to Davian to get some wine.
Krusk remembered.
Yes, I remember. Davian was in the prophecy. It told us of an old man who had a little bit of a fight left in them.
I don't know if I'd call us capable, I said. We've been failing left and right. Muriel objected.
Well, you're doing a lot more than others. More than anyone else who's been here in a long time. It's been awfully bleak around here without you guys.
By the way, are all the ravens people?
It's a bit of a family secret.
Let me rephrase that. Can we trust the ravens?
Yes. They're all working with the Mardukov family.
I guess we could use the ally. God knows we don't have enough of those. Muriel joins up with the party, turning back into a bird. As we travel, continuing on the road, we eventually cross a set of dead bodies. It seemed like it was a traveling caravan that was attacked. We examine the bodies. Some are guards, some are civilians. Esmerelda examines their weapons.
They're coated with silver.
The bodies all have claw marks in them, and some have their throats ripped out. It's not hard to tell that they were the victims of a werewolf attack. We also noticed drag marks next to the road. It seemed like a few were dragged away into the woods. Seems like they might be kidnapping people. But why, though? Maybe they're trying to get new members? Maybe they want food, or maybe they need leverage? Krusk asked,
Should we chase down the kidnapped civilians?
It's getting late. We really need to be heading into the city. Hopefully tomorrow we'll still have time. As much as I want to, it's too big of a risk right now. The entire party was horribly injured. The fight with Rahadin had soaked up most everyone's spells, hit points, hit dice, and other resources. We were running close to empty. We heard from Emil that the werewolf lair was somewhere nearby, and we knew that if we went chasing down the werewolves back to their home, we'd probably just end up getting ourselves killed. For better or for worse, we had to hope that the werewolves didn't kill the people that they had captured and chase them down when we had rested. We continued the journey to Kresk and finally arrive at their gates. And just as Muriel had said, we're stopped by the guards, who won't let outsiders in.
This city's on high alert for werewolf attacks. We don't trust anyone.
Trudging towards the gates, pulling a cart, is Davian. Davian shouted,
Hello, friends. I'm here with Wayne.
When Gouda saw him, she said,
So, he's obviously the powerful wizard we've been hearing about in the prophecy.
No, I'm not. I'm just an old trader.
But you're old. You're not a wizard?
No, not every old person is a wizard.
Well, what magical gifts have you gotten from your age?
Arthritis.
Okay, I gotcha.
Wink. Gouda's only seen old mages before, so she assumes all old guys are secretly magical. She thinks he either doesn't want to talk about it or is hiding something. We use the alcohol to bribe our way inside. Davian says goodbye and heads back to the vineyard. From talking to the guards, we discovered that the attacked caravan had the Baroness in it. It seemed like the Baroness of Kresk is now in the hands of the werewolves. We can only wonder why she was captured. Did they know who she was and need her as a hostage? Or did she accidentally get caught up in all this? Once inside, we head to the Abbey. With several buildings, a living area, main temple, housing, surrounded by rows of gardens. Within, we meet many mongrel folk, people that are part animal. One has a cat's paw where their foot should be, another has their mouth replaced with a donkey's, another has lobster claws for hands. Wow, there's so many mongrel folk here. I say, everyone here has animal parts. It's almost like some weird disease or curse or something that's going around. How did you guys get these animal parts? Were you born like this? From talking to them, we discover clues to get to the bottom of this mystery. The first clue is that all the mongrel folk have been part animal for as long as they can remember. But some people have memories only for a few months, while others have been like this for years. Also, they sometimes have more monstrous behaviors because they're part animals. Like there's a spider mongrel folk in the well that will sometimes snatch up and eat people that come close. We decided it's not best to explore this place on our own. It seems dangerous. We are shown into the church, with high, vaulted ceilings and a dazzling display of rainbow colors from stained glass windows. Near the altar praying, we notice a woman with auburn hair. "Hey, what's up?" we say. "We're looking for the abbot." She turns around. We are suddenly shocked to see Ireena? We blink for a second, but there's no mistaking it. Yes, Ireena is at the altar, wearing different clothes, but it's her. Ismark and Ireena are wide-eyed in shock. We look back to them, then to her, then to them, then to her. Boshack asks,
"What are you doing here?"
She says nothing. I ask, "Are you also Ireena? You look just like her." She doesn't even respond. You notice while she looks at all of you, her expression is blank and neutral. She doesn't even have a hint of shock. A voice said,
"Ah, there we are. The real one has arrived at long last."
Coming down the stairs, dressed in his long resplendent robes, is the abbot. The holy man we came here looking for.
"Greetings, Father,"
I say, bowing respectfully to him. It's nice to meet another cleric of the Morning Lord. He moves past without even acknowledging me or the others, directly over to our Ireena. The abbot leans uncomfortably close to her, studying her face intently.
Yes. Is that it? No. Wait.
He has a flash of insight. "The eyes," he said, snapping his fingers.
It was the eyes that were off. The real one doesn't have her eyes as close together.
"What do you mean?"
"Let me introduce you to Vasilka," the abbot said, "Ireena's replacement."
"Replacement?"
"Yes," he said. "She is a doll. Someone made to look like Ireena. Vasilka, introduce yourself."
The fake Ireena did a little bow.
"She still has a long way to go. We're trying to teach her to dance, but that's proving difficult. As you know, Strahd's been after Tatiana for hundreds of years. So my thinking is if we could give him someone that looks like Tatiana, maybe that would satiate his bloodlust."
"You're helping Strahd?" we asked.
"This will placate his voracious hunger."
Strahd's evil. Why are you helping him? He's murdered countless people.
"And this is the solution," he said, pointing to Vasilka. I pointed out, "You know this isn't gonna work, right? Strahd is just going to be insulted and pissed off that you'd even think of this idea." The abbot raised his eyebrow.
"Who do you think it was who told me to do it?"
"Oh no." The abbot pulled out a book. On its cover it said, "Manual of Flesh Golems."
"Strahd gave me this as a gift. It's taught me much so far, but I still think I have a lot to learn. There have been many mistakes along the way, many rejected bodies."
Eventually Boshack asked,
"In order to make flesh golems, you need to take pieces of live flesh. Where did you get that flesh from?"
The abbot explained,
"Well, sometimes people come to me in need of healing. I can use greater restoration. I'm one of the only people in the region that has that kind of power. But when I do that, we do a trade of sorts. I take from them something, and in return I replace one of their body parts with something else."
I piece it together. So, all those mongrel folk out there, they're all people you've healed and swapped out their body parts with an animal.
"Yes," he said, "and then afterwards they lose their memory. It helps to make sure they don't complain or find out what I'm doing, and they find a home here."
"Excuse me, I'm going to need a moment." My cleric backs away. He leans up against the wall, trying to hide his disgust. Krusk stepped up.
This is what's going to save us? You know he's just going to get bored with her, throw her away, and then we're going to be back to square one."
The abbot was getting frustrated trying to explain it to us. "People, you're missing the point. It'll buy us some time." "Time? How's this gonna help us take him down?" "Take him down? What are you saying? He can't be beat. There is no defeating Strahd. Don't you get it? This is the only chance we have of keeping him at bay. Garo spoke next. Yeah, I think I'm starting to figure out what's going on here, but I still got one question left. What the fuck are you doing? We're both clerics of the Morning Lord. We're supposed to be helping people. My god. Our god. I am helping people, in case you haven't noticed. I'm doing what I can. Helping Strahd? What do you suggest exactly? Fighting him? What good will it do? Have you been trying to stop him, and how far has that gotten you? We need to learn to work with Strahd instead of against him, because the more you try and fight the inevitable, the more the people around you will suffer because of it. Because in the end, it will not be you who pays the price, but everyone else. As we're talking, we remember the prophecy. Boshack whispers to me, You will find a woman who is more than the sum of her parts. He points to Vasilka. And the weapon you need is behind a sun in the house of a saint. Boshack points over to the front of the altar, where there's a massive sun insignia, emblem of the Morning Lord. As the group is talking, the abbot is distracted. I sneak around, pop up the crest. Behind it, just as Madame Ava predicted, there's a hidden alcove with several items in it. I take a second to glance around, make sure I'm not being watched, and sneakily swipe the contents into my bag without looking before slinking away. The abbot welcomed us.
Anyway, your group is welcome to stay here. There are beds upstairs. By the way, could I take some time to study Ireena? That way we can get our duplicate as close to the original as possible.
You know, it's pretty late, I say. It's about 10 o'clock at night. We're all tired. I took about 3 fireballs to the face earlier. You know how it is. We'll discuss this more in the morning. The abbot nodded knowingly.
Of course, we'll discuss this more tomorrow.
Upstairs, we find a secluded set of beds. We finally get a private moment amongst ourselves to talk. What are we gonna do? We really need to rest, and we don't think he's gonna kill us. Maybe we could sleep here for the night? Ismark put his foot down. We can't stay here. The abbot's not on our side. As we're up there, we notice several beds with cloth covering them. The beds are lumpy, like there's something underneath them. We pull some of the blankets up, revealing multiple bodies. The corpses have stitched together pieces. These are obviously some of the abbot's earlier practice and failed works. Boshack agreed.
Yeah, if Strahd knows where we are, we could get tracked down too easily.
Thinking about it, we don't technically need to talk to the abbot anymore. I guess all we really came for is this. I pull the item out of my bag. What I now have in my hand is a holy symbol of the Morning Lord. The thing is gorgeous and seems very expensive. It's not often that you see something made entirely of platinum with a ruby set in the center. Is this supposed to be the weapon we're searching for? I give it a few swings. We cast Identify on it. The DM informs us, you can tell this thing has an aura of magical energy off of it. The item you're holding is a powerful magical relic. This is the holy symbol of Ravenkind. It holds magical charges that replenish at dawn, and you can use them to cast multiple spells from it. You can use an action to have it give off sunlight, not regular light, sunlight, the kind vampires are weak to. You can use another action to cast a more powerful Turn Undead, with disadvantage on all saving throws against it. You can use another action to cast Hold Vampire, which paralyzes all vampires within 30 feet.
Oh, this is really, really good. We so needed this right now.
As we're chatting, the abbot comes over.
Excuse me. There's someone downstairs asking for you.
We're all immediately suspicious. We don't have any friends with us. And the ones we do don't know we're here. We didn't tell anyone else we're coming to Kresk. The abbot was confused.
His name's Vasily. He called you guys specifically by name.
How the fuck did Vasily know we were here? We said, we didn't even know we were going to Kresk. And how'd he get here that fast? We go downstairs. Vasily greeted us.
Hello.
How'd you know we were here? We said.
Oh, Fiona sent me.
Oh, of course it'd be fucking Fiona, I said. She probably has her own spies or invisible imp or something. Vasily asked,
she wanted me to ask about Stella. She needs someone who can cast Greater Restoration.
I replied, yeah, you can tell her we found a guy. If you can get her out here, he can fix it. For a price. She might not be happy with it. Boshack was still eyeing him.
How did you find us?
Vasily was waving his hands.
Oh, you know, people talk.
Boshack growled.
I need answers.
Look, what does it matter, man? Boshack's right, we need to know. I said, we need to know where you're getting your info from. Otherwise, we just flat don't trust you. We keep getting tracked down, and we need to know how you knew, because we almost died several times. Vasily explained, look, I know you guys are suspicious of me. I'm sorry about the cursed items, okay? I didn't know at the time. It's fine, don't worry about it.
Wait,
Boshack said.
We never told you about that.
Boshack gets uncomfortably close to Vasily.
How did you know that those items were cursed? Maybe, just maybe, it's because you knew they were cursed the whole time.
Vasily's nervous expression fell, becoming calm, and accent changed.
Oh, well, I had quite a good run, but I suppose it's come to its end.
Vasily reaches to his other hand, pulled off his ring of disguise, and his body morphed as the magic wore off. His face became pale, hair turned darker, chin became more jagged, and 2 of his teeth extended out into curved fangs. We realized we were standing face to face with Strahd von Zarovich. Motherfucking Strahd!
In the flesh,
He said,
I am here to claim what is rightfully mine.
what the fuck? We can't fight him here. We've got no magic, no health, no nothing. I'm the cleric. I have no spell slots.
I warned you,
Boshack said.
we shouldn't have trusted Vasily.
Shut up, Boshack.
I warned you. But no one listens to the chaotic evil Lizardfolk.
A fight breaks out as we try to defend this place. Krusk pulls out his sword and tries to take a swing at Strahd.
No evil can stand before me.
As he tries, Strahd snaps his fingers. The plate mail Krusk is wearing changes color from silver to black, and Krusk suddenly can't move. Strahd commands,
You'll kneel before me.
Krusk's legs buckle out from under him, kneeling before Strahd.
Where did you get that armor from?
Strahd said,
How convenient. You just happened to find it left behind in the raiding caravan. Who could have possibly known that you were looking for plate mail?
Ah, the betrayal! I wasn't there for that session, but I was shaking my fist at him as well. Apparently, Vasily was the one who told them where it was. Hiding in the darkness and swarming around him are his vampire thralls.
Kill them,
Strahd commands, and lay their corpses at my feet. Strahd was smart in jumping us now. Many of our characters were out of magic and hit points. We realized pretty early on, we can't win this fight. We're down 1 player because Krusk is fighting with his own cursed armor. Boshack telepathically tells the other 2,
Ireena, Ismark, get out of here. Strahd is coming for you. You have to escape.
Upstairs we hear the sound of footsteps as the 2 flee. We have a slugfest fight downstairs. That fight goes south so quickly as we go back and forth. As Strahd downs 1 player, we revive them, then they get brought down again. I keep casting spells from the amulet, but they keep making their saves. Hold vampire. Nope. Turn undead. Nope. Hold vampire. Nope. Krusk is spending the fight forcibly ripping off his own armor. The DM informs us, also by the way, everyone here each round gets 1 point of inspiration. What? Why? Esmerelda is your destined ally, the famed vampire hunter. So each round you get inspiration when you're fighting Strahd. Sweet, we need it. But the fight still isn't going well. We look to the abbot. We could really use your help right about now. The abbot looks to Strahd, gesturing with his staff. Strahd just shakes his head and shoos him away. The abbot nods and backs away into the corner, patiently watching the fight from a distance. You goddamn coward! You motherfucking piece of shit, coward! Everyone is getting mauled by Strahd. Esmerelda eventually gets brought down unconscious at his feet. Strahd goes down to bite her to finish her off. Krusk had managed to rip off the armor completely. He takes his sword and rams it through Strahd's chest, twisting it, causing the body to writhe in pain and explode in a cloud of mist and water onto the ground. Oh, thank the Bardic Lord, I say, kissing the emblem. Thought we were goners there. Looks like we made it out okay.
We did it, guys,
Krusk said, holding his sword aloft.
It was a tough fight, but we did it. I knew we could.
Boshack looked at the pool of water.
Pretty sure we didn't kill him there. Maybe he has some kind of regeneration ability or something.
The church is in ruins. At our feet are littered with the bodies of vampire thralls. Many spells went off, destroying rows of pews and blowing out the windows. We have to gingerly step over the ruins and across pieces of glass. We're barely hanging in there. I have a broken arm, blackened eye, Krusk had his face mauled several times, Gouda's barely conscious, Boshack has buckets of blood squirting out from his neck where he was bitten. It's a mess. Boshack is thinking to himself for a second.
Wait, aren't vampires supposed to turn into a mist when they die?
We don't even get a moment to rest. We hear from the outside laughter, followed by a clatter of horse steps. And arriving, in his full glory, riding atop his nightmare, is Strahd von Zarovich. Strahd said,
You really think I'd be foolish enough to have a fight with you? Out here? What, in a 1-on-4 fight to the death? In this abbey?
We're all dumbstruck.
What you fought over there was nothing more than a simulacrum. A magical duplicate, if you will. You idiots. I assure you, the real thing is not as pathetic as that was.
The DM informs us that he seems to be radiating with these magical wards. The actual Strahd is much more powerful than whatever it was that we just fought. If we couldn't take this fight before, we definitely 110% can't take it now. On his turn, Strahd crosses over to the downed Esmerelda, who has 2 death fails, and in one bite, murders her right in front of our eyes. No! We're all in shock now. We know that Esmerelda, Van Richten's apprentice, is gone. There's no getting her back. Not only that, but she's a vampire now. In a day or two, she's going to rise from her grave, a fully formed vampire. We have nothing to save her with. Vampires cannot be saved with a remove curse spell. Now that Esmeralda's gone, we're going to have to find out a way to complete this story without our destined ally. Strahd turned to us.
Surrender now, and they'll let you live.
Garo walks past Strahd toward the corner where the abbot is and says,
You know, I think I'm starting to understand your point of view.
The abbot nods solemnly.
I thought like you too once, full of hope, but that hope is a dangerous thing. Gets you in trouble a lot. I just don't want anyone else to get hurt because of me.
Everyone in the group surrenders and backs away. Once Strahd sees that, he reaches down, pulls up Esmeralda's corpse, and lifts it up onto his horse. Strahd gallops out of the church and into the night, heading back toward the castle Ravenloft, leaving us to ourselves in the ruined church. Krusk asks,
What now?
We have to go. It's not safe here. Gouda asks,
Where else? There's werewolves out in the woods.
I get it, okay? The woods aren't safe, the town's not safe, everywhere's not safe. I say frustrated. Everything here wants us dead. But right now, if we want our best chance, we gotta go, and we gotta go right now. The party walks to the door, throwing our cloaks on. The abbot says a prayer over us.
May the morning Lord watch over you and guide your path.
I stop, shaking my head. You know, normally I'd say, Morning Lord, watch over this abbey, but he's long since abandoned this place. The abbot nodded solemnly.
I think I agree with you there.
And as the group left the abbey, we fled into the night, missing 3 members. And that was where that session ended.